Welcome everyone to more live Linux distribution development. We urgently have a Linux distribution to release because certainly all our years of development and months of testing help little if we don't release this stuff to the public, and we have so much fixed. Every day it hurts me someone downloads 2-month-old T2 ISO and discovers stuff that we fixed already. So let's make PS3 even more amazing. So some last minute fixes. Even today on Twitch we fixed some XGI drivers of all things, because I had a server board with some XGI Volari set 9. So some 3 hours of XOC development live on Twitch. Yesterday I got so much carried away. I got PowerPC Apple Macintoshes booted in super amazing ways. And does it continue here? So I actually finally, I wanted for years. So for 20 years we used this generic tux here of Yaboot. That is for PowerPC, Power Macintoshes Open Firmware. So only yesterday, for 20 years, I mean the format is like this, but the details, color, space and stuff, it's nowhere documented. It took me way too many hours. Plus, like everything I tried didn't work. Recurring theme here, right? By the way, I hope you're alive. So yeah, so first results, this is still this, it's like, yeah, why did this bloody logo here took, I'm not kidding, 4 hours. I should probably not have done it, but that's what probably, yeah, perfectionists do, getting carried away. Like, yeah, first result, like this was after already way too much work. Also the problem is, it took 1 extra hour because ImageMagick sucks, and our exact image, like I have basically a ImageMagick in better, but does not support as much. So I only tried, like each time I use ImageMagick, that's like 20 years ago, I use ImageMagick like the user code sucks, the usability sucks. But anyway, because yeah, I needed to generate this mask here and specific color palette and stuff, and yeah, ImageMagick still sucks. Anyway, in the end I've also done it without ImageMagick because it sucked too much. Then like this option, PNG preserve color space, and it doesn't work quite right, and it's like, anyway, I probably, just exact image has only support for loading color paletted color maps. I probably need to add native, like even more like preserving color map palettes. Anyway, so yeah, first result, as this was already after 3 hours, like 3 hours got me that far, yay, like 2 hours messing with shit and 1 hour messing with ImageMagick. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is the difference between it starts to look nice, but also a little bit thin, right? And then 1 hour of gimping, like relearning GIMP. And so that's fine. That's a little bit unsharp, but yeah, you get the idea, right? Like this is thicker and red colors, and yeah, let's commit this, so that is that. And again, it looks little, but like basically this few things, like yeah, nearly 4 hours, right? Just for totally amazing. It's like, also I might be, as per yesterday's video, I'm not sure if anyone ever has got a netboot to boot like this. I might be the only one after 20 years, except native macOS. So yeah, 20 years later, Steve Jobs probably would have approved or probably purchased T2 Linux. So yeah, all this stuff is nice if we wouldn't ship it to the people, right? I have some like, let's do some recode, right? It's basically summary for people to tune in, but we also need to ship it, right? So that is crap. I didn't even commit this yet. This lives somewhere. All right, I have this a little bit YOLO'd into stone mod stuff here, probably. So yeah, this is, so you already see this here, right? Again, it doesn't look like much, but like getting all the details right. I mean, obviously this must, it's like, yeah. There's probably a reason why there's only a tux and the GNU logo, because probably there are only 3 people in the world, like the person who did the tux 20 years ago and some GNU person who did the GNU logo. I only need to be careful that we didn't 1, 2. Does it look about right? 2 there. So that is of course 8-bit color mapped, right? So that is that. So because nothing like your 4 hours of pixel magic, if you're not shipping it. 16 up, 16 up, 16 up. Yeah, looks about right. And we need to do this twice, so that is, let's hope we don't have other changes. So we will do some recode in a second, because as a surprise, of course we have this some, shit. Okay, anyway, I can commit this later. So we also have this, as a surprise, we will improve P3. Yes, the day has come. I did, 4 years later, I proof of concept started improved P3 Xorg driver, because obviously today I wasted nearly 4 hours on XGI Volari stuff and SIS driver. It's like maybe we should ship the more popular P3 finally. So yeah, this will be the first release where we will ship the RSX driver by default. However, we will disable hardware acceleration to prevent random crashes. So what that gives you is just being able to potentially use it and hardware cursor, right? So it's still a win of improved overhead, of not constantly reblitting here the cursor area, right? Plus a more flicker-free experience. And we will also ship SGI Octane. I improved that driver also some 3 years ago, but never shipped it. Each time, that's the irony, right? Between proof, that's of course the difference between proof of concept hacking, like I did 3 or 4 years ago, and never shipping it, right? Because sure, neither P3 nor SGI Octane is mission critical, but it's also, there's not a point of, even for the SGI impact stuff, I spent over a whole weekend, right, to get this hardware cursor working. P3, of course, but it's like, yeah, that is, of course, not the best time, best invested if you do stuff and never ship it. So let's ship it. Let's make this, like, we fix, I also probably should document all the small things here on our stuff, right? We did x86 optimizations. So, I mean, the only thing is I cannot really, I mean, sure, I could put here everything. Here should, of course, only be the big news. Certainly putting, like, extremely optimizing x86 is one thing, like even kernel and stuff. But putting here, I mean, maybe it would even make sense to put in here, we like significantly maintained the XGI and SIS drivers today. That's already committed. But my point is probably we should also news article maybe we should really at least every month the most major thing, maybe even in between if there is another major thing, to simply showcast and advertise how much stuff we do here, right? For the popularity that deserves. PowerPC boot, so we need to add this here too. That is probably that one's the same tag, so that is copied from Yaboot, that was living in Yaboot since forever. I mean, I probably tried to make an icon 20 years ago, but like it failed because it is nowhere documented what format that is, and it looks straightforward. But again, it took me 3 hours to get mostly working and 1 hour of fine pixel editing to make it look really nice. Surprisingly, new lines did work here. I probably leave this in the server, so that's in the server on the netboot. Which I probably leave it there. I even tried to find I didn't even find a specification for this stuff. Yes, I know there's this open firmware, Hitchhiker's Guide to Open Firmware. 16. Wait, is this even? Should be. 16 down. 16 there, yeah, 16 there. Yeah, we will, looks complete. We will see how complete it is. So that is that. Okay, let's commit this. I need to revert this. This here, this. Should be only that. Do we still have this in the history here and here? So does that look? What do we have there? All right, this was we don't want all of that. Still not. Certainly nice branding, right? And obviously, if you have another Linux distribution in there, you obviously want to see that it is superior to Linux or just some generic tools. So, I mean, not that any other distribution would still support PowerPC in some significant way. I guess that looks good. Finally, edit, open PowerPC or boot. Return RF boot. OS icon batch, OS batch icons. Batch icons. So finally added T2, PowerPC OF boot, OS batch icons. Should probably be fine. I should have tested this, but if it doesn't work, we will find out soon. If that is not some attention for detail, I don't know what is. So let's revert this before we forget that. Then let's do MIP64 first. That probably, so I always skipped over that for years, which in retrospect probably wasn't the best idea. And we even need to finish that further. XF86 video impact. All right, I renamed this to MIP6432. So what I'm talking about is so the driver other people did, but it doesn't do much anyway. Especially after XAA was removed. So I forked that years ago because obviously nobody else is maintaining that anymore. And that is here. I will also fork sometime soon, so on my to-do. So as you see now, after fixing everything we could find for 25 years, now it's time to profit. I wonder what acceleration did they even have? Did they have any? So Peter first, I believe, has written most of that. Does it even have acceleration? Maybe it doesn't even have acceleration. I don't remember. Maybe not. Yes, theoretically there is so much on my to-do, but probably we shouldn't do most. So what I did, I added hardware cursor. That's that here. That is what I did 3 years ago. And now it's finally time to ship it. That's not even perfect yet. That's also why I didn't really feel like shipping it. I believe I copied that mostly and edited like for a weekend until it worked, because SGI Newport was mostly compatible. I believe SGI Impact is using VC3 and yeah, Newport VC2. So this is like somewhat copied from SGI Newport video controller, like VC is video controller. And then I reverse engineered the SGI Octane prom until I got it to mostly work. It took a whole weekend, like easily 20 hours for this few things, which yeah, nobody else has ever done, obviously. Like here, it's not yet 100% super cleaned up, right? There's still some F-zeros. But the biggest missing thing, which I like, of this 20 hours, like probably 8 hours, I tried to get the color map stuff. I still can't load the bloody color map. So the cursor will have the colors, I believe, red and white or so. Color that the SGI Arcs prom will set, right? I isolated the code set, but it's super tricky. Like the problem is this color map stuff did extremely tricky things. like switching their banks or whatnot. In this, what was it even, in this cursed crossbar bus thing. It's like, yeah. I even made a YouTube video, right, 4 years ago or so, 3 years plus, like, hey, we have hardware cursor. Probably should be more like 4 years ago. So anyway, if we want to ship it, so because this currently doesn't build, what do we have here? Only we did Xorg drivers 4 years ago and never shipped it. That is certainly not ideal for world domination. Okay, that is the release driver. I guess we simply switch this to this here for now. I don't really feel like tagging a release because it doesn't fully work yet. It is like a good enough release candidate, and please share, like, subscribe, Patreon. I really would love to, but like, hey, I put already 20 years in the bloody hardware. 20 years. I put already 20 hours into the bloody hardware cursor. There is really only so much I can put into tiny little hobby projects, right? Which is why I'm constantly begging for share, like, subscribes, and patronage. So that was my last thing 3 years ago, right? Great, wait, is it even the right? Did great funding? Do I really have your funding? Sponsor this project, maybe. Interesting. Didn't even remember that. Ah, right, this makes sense. Yeah, the cursor change is probably even older. I was already wondering, 3 years didn't make sense. Yeah, 2018 already. So that was already soon 6 years ago. Where's my hardware cursor thing? Cursor? Why is this not showing here? Is Git not amazing? Why does Git not show me in the top level directory the hardware cursor change? Or is it this one here? Now I'm confused. Okay, also, this is, and ported to that. Okay, ported to that and added hardware cursor. Okay, fine. Yeah, I also had to do this some minimal changes. Because the only constant is change of Abin and Xorg, and they still break their stuff on a yearly basis. They really want to make sure that nobody is using it anymore, because in the meantime, like in other Linux distribution, most drivers, in most Linux distribution except T2, most drivers are broken. I think at this pace, one day I will maintain all of Xorg, because somehow there are not really many people. I mean, other people mostly break stuff. It's ridiculous. What should I say? Also, we need Git. So let's, and then we need autogen, because it is all. And here we need Git plus. I should have done this 3 years ago. But better late and now than never. Welcome everyone to our increasingly thought after, because somehow everything and the kitchen sink is actually working. Practically speaking, let me just rearrange some stuff. Why do you choose to spend your time on hold hardware? Because nobody else to build a YouTube channel, to have because it practically speaking, because I like my hardware working, because nobody else is maintaining it for me. If you want to contribute a patch, why not? But at this rate, I might, like, I find new hardware increasingly too buggy. Like, every day I need to reboot my Steam Deck because AMD GPU crashes. And I also don't, like, at that rate, I've been done modern hardware because it's just too buggy. I'm sick and tired of modern hardware crashing. Yeah, Arch user, if I don't, who doesn't? Also, I find it absolutely hilarious that, I said this before, right? We could have all drivers in working order, but all the big names, all the big open source names break. I don't understand even Xorg, right? Why do they, since 10 years, they want to abandon Xorg, but they delete the last oldest driver a decade ago, then break other stuff. I probably, you want to share, like, and subscribe. I have plans. I will most likely restore the DRI1 drivers with smart shocks because it, like, they can run Quake 3. Like, they have, like, the Xorg people, the big popular Red Hat and stuff, big name Linux distribution, paid open source guys, it's like you abandon a house, and as the last thing you still shit in some corner, what absolutely, whatever things are in your language, because like for a decade they wanted obsolete Xorg, but on the last decade they delete all the old drivers and everything else they break. Like, there is nearly no driver in Xorg left that's not broken. Like, most I fixed in some way, shape or form. It's in Xorg upstream proper, it's next to impossible. Like, maybe 4 of the 32 drivers work or something of that sort. Absolutely hilarious. I have, like, this is such a disgraceful, disgusting behavior. And then they are applauded on news sites. Yeah, they did some X-Wayland. Yeah, wonderful. But on the way to X-Wayland, they broke everything else. Congratulations. At least, and that's in the name of having less work to do. You know what? It is more work to break all the shit and just leave it there because it was working until all you came and broke it in the name of cleanups. Absolutely hilarious. And why not, like a Matrox G450 run Quake 3 or so, decent performance, probably 30 plus frames or whatnot, and with some more optimizations and cleanups maybe today faster, especially on Ryzen. I work each day long on a full HD plus display. Like, sure, a Matrox MJ 450 cannot drive a 4K display, but like for 90%, like for 99% of the market would be fine. And just because some people at Red Hat decide, no, we break everything, we are the major AAA open source company, but yet we destroy everything we find on the way. Yeah, so P3 we do in a second, so yeah, welcome everyone. So yeah, why not? And like I will probably, I already started, so what I will probably start to do now that I fixed everything, because like, why? Because I have in my opinion, the best Linux distribution. That is why. Why do the Red Hat people do stuff? Like, why do they even break all this stuff? That is like you inherit a antique fine china store, and because you're not into fine china porcelain, you like break everything instead of like having other people enjoy it or stuff. Like leave in the comments below what are the best metaphors for that. Like, yeah, I will probably from now moving on, like every week, use some other vintage hardware half of the time, because I can do all my work, and why not? Like now after I fixed everything, 4 years live on YouTube and Twitch, I want that it remains working, and the best way to achieve this is use it half of the time, right? Because emails and like git pull stuff, like thin client, like 99% of my work I can do on this hardware. Like, basically the hardware and software companies don't want you to know that you can probably do 99% of your stuff on vintage and retro hardware. Especially like if you use 2024 cloud browser, like to be able to use vintage and hardware, run your browser in the cloud and live stream the video signal to you, so you can browse the net through video on your vintage retro hardware. So why does this not work? Might be simply impact. So we probably, so it might just be some Xorg macro thing. I had the issue on the other builds that it might not be auto. I might do this later. That is too boring to do live on stream. I had to manually fill around on my x86 build also for some other drivers that I updated. Because we want a successful YouTube channel, right? I can't always do the most boring things here that nobody wants to watch. What's going on here? Actually, or don't tell me, is it even a complete build? What have I done? Okay, maybe it's not even a complete build. Huh. Not really sure why not. did I? Not really sure what I've done there. Okay, fine. It's prepared. It's probably mostly of what is needed. Let's build the rest and hope that it works. Because NoTech reported that he also got a similar error. I hope it's not like our latest Xorg Proto update to break something. Max size, parallel 32, good. So then let's do the same for the P3 driver and finally ship it to Xorg PS XF. I think we named it, maybe we should name it, why did we not name it RSX? Maybe because I also forked it, right? Like from the original other OS hackers, probably it had the name already. I mean, I might have, I mean, someday we need to get it into Novo, but first we need to get more work. And so all the YouTube build up, all the YouTube stuff I do to be able to finance that, right? Because basically, obviously I realized 5 years ago, I can't continue like with earning nothing, fixing all the stuff. So obviously I'm not yet a big content creator, but getting there. Hey, so did you know my More main channel soon has 25,000 followers, which probably if you didn't know, we have a second channel. That is that one here, right? That is soon, if you shall like and subscribe there, maybe tomorrow, 25,000 subscribers. You probably want to go there and shall like and subscribe that. Because now, like imagine we have 100,000 or larger numbers. And then I can like, imagine I could work on the stuff full time. Like we would have like RSX 3D acceleration. Like if I wouldn't do stuff like 2 hours in a time between a lunch break and stuff, right? So that's MIPS. Or did this fail? No, we will see because we also built with GCC 14 snapshot, right? So let's do the same here. Did we auto-gen? Did we, okay, no, I didn't. I added here some, what did I do here? That is some random, okay, that's also not ideal. Did we ever had a release of that? Okay, so I have here a branch. Okay, so the original work, because we still need to put way more work into that, which didn't yet work out of financing that through YouTube. So because the original, so I forked this because nobody else had this anymore. Like basically I recovered that from the lost corners of the internet. Here is a branch with some hacked stuff. So the working branch, so the main branch is probably that with more 3D. And the working branch I probably branched with, so the working branch I branched off before they added some more minimal 3D stuff, like 15 years ago. I couldn't get that to work yet, that's too unstable. Like basically, shall I subscribe? I need to guru meditate that more. So what that is the more working branch with fixes for, because the memory layout changed between 2.10 or before 2.10, when when the other original other OS hackers found security vulnerabilities. So the memory layout changed. This is why a lot of this early hacks don't work in game OS, because now previously this code runs through security vulnerabilities. They were of course fixed. So now we need to change this code and understand everything, which is also where I got an NVIDIA NV1, and we will do more NVIDIA driver stuff here soon, now that we approach 25,000 subscribers. So now we need to make everything work in the proper, more full way. But the memory layout is different, and a lot of early hacks don't work like that anymore. So this is why the early hacks are extremely difficult to understand due to the nature of magic numbers, and only those security vulnerability researchers from back in the day know what precisely they did there. So let's, this also doesn't copyright because, so this is working here, last commit 4 years ago. It's like here. And remember, the more you shall subscribe, the faster you get P3 stuff. It's that simple. I can only work as much as you share, like, and subscribe. It's that is how it works. We probably never had a version tag, so let's just use that. We also need to enable that by default then. Now that we want to seriously work on this stuff again, so then let's change Set to here, the version not to this random date. This was not the right thing to do. And set standard. And here Z. And the question, oh, this also Go. Yeah. Does not someone want to fix Go fails for some architectures? Does not someone wants to fix Go? Because I'm not even using Go. It's not even my language. Yeah, maybe I fix this for the release, because that surely we should celebrate 20,000 subscriber special with the most advanced and fixed working Linux distribution. So maybe I should actually fix some Go stuff. Wanted to quickly, is this, oh, this is enabled by default. Okay, so do we have a complete PowerPC build? Because the last days I built so much random stuff, I don't even know what I have complete here. Fine. Okay, this probably is somewhat complete. So what is then next? That were the two drivers. What else did I wanted to do? All right, I have some initRD stuff to debug. Would it run on Orange Pi all winner? Of course it would run. The problem is with all the custom kernels, right? Yeah, what's this? Okay, ignore that. That's the next full rebuild will fix this. Like, yeah, we did this recently for Ember. Of course it will work. I always recommend, like, you probably just want to extract the ISO and root file system. I wanted to make a video or I probably soon will write, like, basically, obviously we deserve more market share for all the fixes we do. So obviously fixing stuff does not bring you market share, right? Only advertising, promotion, and more. The only substitute for shameless advertising promotion is more shameless advertising self-promotion. So that's obviously what we need to do if we want more than 4% market share. And so where is our knowledge base? I will add I have this already on my to-do. Let's just add this to the to-do, otherwise I might forget. Basically in knowledge base article, how to best YOLO a T2 user land onto an embedded board, because due to the nature of all the custom hacked kernels, right? Not a fan of that, but it is what it is. I didn't invent it, so knowledge base article about how to embed board T2 FS. So that's building, that has shared files. Did I do this somehow wrong? Video PS3, oops. XF86, why does this not, or did we not mark it to cross-compile? Maybe it's not even marked to cross-compile. Does this even need that here? I hope it doesn't need that. Not really sure why I had that there. That's marked cross, huh? Doesn't even mark cross compile. Yeah. So, but I hope you see now we can increasingly do the nice things, right? The last polishing, the last 2%. What have we done now? Autogen, did we git clone? Oh, this is also completely wrong. This is not my, what did this even, did this not even download? So this was pre my fork even. Didn't even see that. Thank you very much. Yeah, they want to replace Wayland with Xorg, but no, my copy and paste doesn't work like it used to anymore. It's like, yeah, I probably didn't even download, I guess. By the way, did I use or I used somehow not set standard? So, fixed a couple of initialization order. Yeah, this is my commit. Is this really the last? Okay, it was the last commit. Good. One more. Yeah, last but not least, yeah, xorg servers. So it probably will. So that is some. I just need to just and just. It's like here. Even then, like with everything, this is mostly just. I need to do one last full clean rebuild anyway. After that many fixes. This might be another hour or two, or maybe just 10 or 30 minutes of hacking this autoconf shit here to find these bloody files. I will find some solution for that, but that is too boring, as I probably said, for the MIPS stuff. So, XF86, do we have this in the... No? Oh, there. So, does it have a chance to probably work? I guess, right? So, and enable by and for cross. There goes that. All right, we didn't yet fix. So that is because, nah. Basically, does it even make sense to build this now? Because I still need to fix this xorg macro shit. And we need to fix unzip. So we still have a handful of GCC 14 breakages. Okay, let's commit this one. This was impact. This is not download. Why do we not have a checksum for that? All right, because I renamed it set standard from xset. That is why I didn't get that. So now it has a checksum. So the only question is why. I mean, okay, it's yeah, MIP64 is enough, I guess. I mean, it probably could build. You know, okay, let's. I mean, we could enable it. I probably only removed it not to have two builds. It probably was once upon a time marked MIPS. I probably only removed it not to have to touch two builds to skip over this. Just because I guess we can, if it doesn't build, we can later remove it again, but I probably know that it's supposed to build it. Probably should be able to build there. So last but not least, I somehow broke myself. I sometimes, as you see, I sometimes also break stuff, and that is why the only substitute for testing is more testing. I somehow broke int-rd generation again. I thought I fixed something, but broke it more. I think I reverse merged that. Except the probably let's see if we can reverse merge that. Hey, welcome there. Happy to hear that you finally caught us live. Also, we streamed 3 hours of XGI Volari and SIS driver Xorg development earlier on Twitch, right? If you're not yet following on Twitch, that is where we now do even more live in between. Should be that one. So to scan, so improved init RD to scan soft depths, but somehow that broke it. So thanks, well done, well done myself. Yeah, I need even more test suite, right? What you don't have test suite for will break. Let's merge that. Ah, shit, this doesn't. Okay, let's manually merge that. Thanks, a subversion. Patch try run. So subversion will not merge that because I reverted that, right? So it recorded that's like, yes, use Git and stuff, but hey, my workflow is more efficient in subversion, except when I reverse merge my own stuff with. I have there some change in there, right? I could have reverted that, but I have here at least input LED trigger, yeah. So that's, I wasn't sure if that's the only thing, apparently that's the only thing. So let's fix that too, because somehow that has a bug. Let's debug that. I wanted to debug that for 2 days already, but somehow was too busy drawing open firmware PowerPC icons and priorities. But hey, at the end of the day, everything needs to work, right? You can't ship the world's most advanced operating system if graphic drivers are broken, like the MIPS ones or the PowerPC ones or the x86 server ones. So we did build that, right? So that was x86. So what did I break there? So somehow it's not generating all modules anymore. So it would be mkinit rd of this root here of, how do we run that? Like that, I guess. All right, 6, 8, 2, T2 I have in there. So somehow this is, I believe, erroring out. So it's, as you probably see, not, this is not. So how did I notice? I wanted to boot that kernel and that didn't have most modules. So let's see, what did we change and where does it break? And so yeah, I have not tested this enough, right? The night I've done that like 3 or whatnot days ago, or actually more days ago. Even I have not tested this enough, right? And I tried to test my stuff. So how does this break? Expand to full name if it was a depend. Okay, I added that. So if we found that, so x equals, I mean, this should probably work, huh? What precisely breaks here? Here we run. So previously, what? So this was a change. How okay? Previously, we did run mod info, and now we run. Additionally, mod info -f soft dep x. This is only running more, so what precisely breaks here? Bizarre. Let's see, does someone have a hint? Let's probably start with the obvious. I moved that from here to there. That probably shouldn't make a difference, but let's see. Let's try here one thing. Okay, of course it didn't make a difference. I only did this not to scan that a second time. That is, by the way, basically micro optimization. So then I did that one here, but that probably also shouldn't be the thing. No, of course not. Maybe we return early. Maybe we break execution if we return, because do we run with set E? Maybe we drop out here. Maybe if we make this set was zero, I always forget this. So length of string is 0. Maybe if we make this positive, if 0, then return. Does that change something? Oh, look at that. Does it look like way more? Darn, maybe we just break out there because the exit status is negative, and then the whole... Does this look like more? OHCI, I think that looks like way more. I guess that was it. Crazy shit. Nah, yeah, that is somehow a tricky thing. Although we run set E to error out if an error occurs, so somehow maybe we also need to design a better. Maybe we need to design a better shell. Anyway, another year. First we need to write a JIT compiler and stuff in the microkernel. My hope is, of course, that increasingly I have T2 where I ever wanted it. Like, basically, I made my own Linux distribution financed by YouTube, your shares, likes, subscribes, and Patreon and stuff, right? Basically, I finally polished each exotic corner and then some, like, icon polishing and stuff. I mean, theoretically, that's not even all right. Theoretically, I even have on my to-do adding an icon to EFI boot so that EFI x86 Apple Macintoshes display a nice logo. But that is probably for another day. So, very theoretically, I also have on my to-do to clean up the init.rd some more, because currently we add there quite some modules. So that was that. Proof of concept, then if 0 is in return, that probably should be it. Because you can always make stuff better, right? With all the filtering, like, why do we have all those regular, before you say about this low quality regular expression filtering, like, hey, as long as Apple is using regular expression for Siri, matching text examples for the no Siri code, like Apple had, was it John Gruber, or I think it was, what is his name? Steven Siri reverse is this. What is this famous Mac developer's name? Steven something. Here, Apple Siri made out of regular expression. Not making this shit up, right? I didn't mean this. Ah, here, this is even my video. Ah, I didn't even recognize my own video. Shit, this is... Yeah, we do use YouTube. So yeah, AI Apple Siri made of regular expressions. I have it there. It's probably this Stephen. What is his name? I think he's in UK or Ireland. Is this Stephen? Oh, whatever. You get the idea, right? Maybe I've even linked it. Like often I. Can we scroll? Can we load? Did I link that? Did I forget to link it? Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea, right? So we regenerated that. Does it still work? Apparently, yes, it does. So the only thing, and it's on my to-do, not really a fan of this masking comments. In my opinion, a little bit inappropriate. Would appreciate if we wouldn't communicate that way. So init.rd. So let's see what init.rds we have in there, which is mkdir t of set standard decompress modules here of, let's see, does this actually, why do we have so many NLS ISO things? I thought I only meant to have like Unicode in there, but okay, I mean, it's not that many. Okay, maybe NTFS needed some of them. Yeah, it's probably what it is. Okay, it's somewhat minimal IPv6 and 4. So right, one thing alright, so the RTCs are recently removed and then quickly added them back because then I noticed if you boot the installer, you don't have the time. That certainly sucks. So for the system, it doesn't really matter, but as we boot the same init.rd for the installer, it sucks if you install without the time, right? Then all the newly created files have 1970s. That's certainly that's a no-go. So that's the Ethernet stuff. It's probably fine-ish. MTTD for embedded stuff. Why do we have card reader? I mean, card reader we don't really need. How is that getting in there? I don't believe how did this grab? I don't manually match it. That's bizarre. Some PCI generic enough to match. PCI controller word IO. I mean, okay, it's maybe also not. I mean, maybe some strange dependency has that. Who knows? Maybe some USB storage driver pulls this in. So MD hardware. So this is just the most minimal. I mean, it's just some compressed anyway, right? It's both the most important hardware monitoring thing for the most. I mean, it's not vitally necessary, but I found it nice to have at least some installing. And so USB, quite some host controller. Here we have USB. Okay, that's the most minimal USB storage and UAS. So here's Apple IR. So we totally don't need that though. How do we best grab that? We probably have Apple HID. What did I? Apple HID. So we have Apple HID. How do we match? Okay, we could match not IR. I mean, okay, we could either match a dot, but maybe matching a dot is less scalable potentially. Wow, this is a little bit tricky. I mean, maybe we match not I. Might be a little bit more readable, I don't know. So HID Apple we kind of need, otherwise I believe the Apple keywords don't work, right? So Microsoft, now I have a Surface, so I mean, yeah, it probably, whatever extra, I believe it's Surface and potentially others, so yeah, H2C HID. So all of the stuff I added, like, obviously I once brought some stuff like 10 years ago and like Microsoft Surface or whatnot, right? Modern, even the Dell, probably Dell XPS, they need or other modern shit. Is this the most okay, CPU free. It's also the most minimal, I believe, kind of CPU frequency. That's yeah, we don't really need AGP guide, but probably having some probably that pulls in automatically from some DRM. Okay, so PCMC. So I added PCM. I added this intentionally. Like if you wanted to install on an yeah, theoretically you can install. I tested this. You can install from like PCMCIA zip drive, right, and stuff. That's why do we have this PCMCIA zip drive compact ID compact flash. Okay, here's some power port thing. Do we need that? Why is there power port in? But maybe some crazy, I mean, that's a good question. Why is power port in there? I mean, it's like one, probably it doesn't make sense to optimize for one module. Maybe some SCSI controller pulls this in like adaptive parallel port SCSI. But so like one thing doesn't make sense, right? Like if we're not gaining, what, are we, 14%. Okay, so far we didn't find actually too much to remove. Here's also, this is also pulling it in P80A power port. Okay, do we really want to support that? Does some crazy person really want to install from some... I mean, at the end of the day, like, how much is it compressed? Like 50K or whatnot? If I remove it, I see myself... I mean, I have PCMCIA. I mean, I have here even one iOmega Jess parallel port adapter that I never used. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt. Okay, that was actually surprisingly little stuff we could further... I mean, except the power port. I expected more. I thought there was more to remove. I mean, maybe not including Apple IR might... Does it have depth? Mod info Apple. Does it have like some other Apple HID IR? What was even the bloody name? I think it was HID Apple IR. Does it have some... No dependencies? Not to some infrared stuff? Okay, I mean, okay, it's not decoding, probably, that's why it doesn't have other infrared stuff. I mean, some of this stuff, whatever, I guess. I mean, whatever that is. Maybe that is role switching, I have no idea. Hardware monitoring. There's... Okay, that's CPU temp somehow. Dim temp. Yeah, again, filtering one module doesn't make sense. Even if we don't need one or two, that's what it is. It's this regular expression. Forest is already nearly as bad as Apple series, so... MMC... I thought there was more. But it's also good to finally fully review that once more. I mean, I'm not adding token ring. Like, if you want to install from token ring, that's your personal challenge. Okay, actually, that's surprisingly, I still need to make sure that the... Do I have... That the caps and moonlock LEDs work in the inlet RD. I really hated that it didn't work. That's also among the stuff, right? I said this live stream for a decade. I wondered why does caps lock not work in the inlet RD, and last week I found out there is an LED class module for that. So let's build this once more with this Apple IR and test that still picks. That should still pick Apple. Yeah, HID Apple. But not EIR. Yeah, that apparently works, I guess. So one stray module. Not that it would be the most important, but now it's gone. So I guess then we can soon really start to build everything, right? Let's check Mesa Legacy. So this needs a little bit polishing. So basically I need to do one build. So that's like, yeah, that's always one more thing, right? Like you're 99% done. And like, yeah, you just add Mesa Legacy, and of course it sucks. And maybe I should do this too. That we've just fixed. I thought it might work. It works on my system, so this. Not no LED. Sorry, LED. Input LEDs, LED class. I guess it should be that one, right? Input LEDs, for what does it? Should test that. I basically should. Okay, I have that in there for sure. How does it match though? Version name. Okay, it matches on that one here. Input BVPE. Do we have crazy modtap alias? But yeah, Linux kernel engineering. Yeah, test. So testing that maybe with some more. Okay, we double checked that. Knowledge base article for you. Yeah, okay, I have this twice. Even older, like re-add even older Mesa of MGA and R200 and Voodoo. Share, like, and subscribe. All right, theoretically I should just get so on my nerves. Like some GNU developer told me, like let's switch that to that. It's so much more amazing, and it's like totally sucks. But, KXEC had some installer regression. All right, okay, I need to test that. So what I probably should do is you know what, do I have KXEC here? Theoretically, I think this was currently broken for PowerPC. Ah, shit. Yeah, that's the thing, right? For 25 years you develop, for 4 years you nearly daily live stream stuff on YouTube and Twitch, and you still have like rather important to-dos. Do not other people want to work on some of this stuff? So yeah, theoretically, I mean, ARM is not that important for me, but also KXEC didn't work the last time, as I don't do this for this release. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I should try, because I believe it maybe it even affects real world Spark 64 hypervisor Spark 4V. Did I do that already? And did I do that? I just packed the tie book away. Did the PMU battery work? Oh shit, why did I put it away? Keep the office clean and sorted, they said. Each time I sort stuff into the shelves, 5 hours later I need again. I would need, okay, it's not super, okay, I mean, it's always, I think I need to stop somewhere. Okay, yeah, this is all major stuff. For what you need to share, like, and subscribe more. Fix mount error. Okay, so that is like developer usability issues. For some reason, mount doesn't print. Like, why would mount not print? I mean, it's like basically I do this sometime between now and forever. I think we did that here. Sound SGIO2. I have done that. That is done. Yeah, that is for some time in the future. Mm. Long term. Yeah, nice to have. Also nice to have. Object disabled. Yeah, that is okay. That's probably, that's not for this release. Like if you want the Motor68K CD bootable patches, welcome. Do I have what? Do I have here? What was this crime? Here, port that. So that is. I will do sometime. Where do I have laser magazine? Here. Wait, I did that already. Where's the other laser? Here. I want to port the NetBSD. So NetBSD has done an XF86 video crime thing. I would port that to Linux. It needs some kernel driver, and this needs some modification in kernel driver. So we have done that. Like basically, that what's left is testing, or finish and test. What else? We have done that. Yeah, this here, we have done that. Yay. Defaults. Like, yeah, I'm not. Oh, so here, we basically done that, but this is basically, I mean, we hacked it, so. Finish. This is basically, it's hacked like do it nice and debug why it even occurs, but for now. Network would just, okay, that is some nice to have. Yeah, whatever. Not my department. Can't use. I mean, that's a Linux kernel. It's just annoying. Yeah. I mean, that is far in the future. Like, if you really share, like, subscribe a lot, eventually I would implement Apple G5 optical SPDIF input, which nobody has implemented ever. Like, I naively assumed it would work, but it didn't. The irony is, there is even an Apple, like at least there was, I would hope it's still online there. Apple had even, the Apple Darwin driver for that is open source, but nobody ever ported that to Linux, which is like too. Debug data, what? Okay, this is data. Maybe I should prefix data stuff as data so that I see it on first glance. Yeah, that is PC emulator improvement, not important. Yeah, there's a lot of nice to have stuff. What else do we have here? Shout out, please. What you're saying? What do you mean with shout out, please? Then say something worthy of your attention, exactly, and maybe super chat if you want to shout out, right? I guess that is how YouTube works. Let's fix all those things. That aren't fix all the things. What are you even saying? Wouldn't overcomplicate the code base. If they wouldn't overcomplicate their code base, it would. I would. Which one do you mean? Who? Who do you mean? What are you even talking about? Everything is broken and we need to make a better version here. What are you talking about? Xorg and whatnot? I mean, it's not my fault that they change, clean up APIs in Xorg for a decade and now everything is broken, right? I mean, I didn't make it. I only like spent all the hours of research, even today, right? XGI stuff, like they fix some light stuff and don't even make a release, right? Or other stuff. Don't get me started on this. I mean, yes, this is a palette, like we did some Xlog testing, right? Some stuff was not super amazing. A lot of stuff we got to work, but some I theoretically even fix XF86. What was it today? Video SIS with XGI Volare Z9 to mode set higher modes better. It's like, somehow it's whatever. Yeah, theoretically, even the VDR, like this is also hilarious, right? I think that this NVIDIA TNT2 did not even, like, maybe I should fix this sooner than like maybe first. Wait, why do I have here? Because it's Linux kernel, fix Linux kernel NVIDIA. It's like even the bloody frame buffer doesn't come up, right? You plug in your oldest NVIDIA card in the system, and even that doesn't come up anymore. It's hilarious. Somehow somehow ACPI is so picky that old x86 stuff doesn't soft power off. I mean, this is also like, I understand like ACP, like 20 years ago, ACPI was cursedly broken and more shitty than it is today. But why the Linux kernel developers need to make the ACPI system stuff so much stricter that it doesn't even, I mean, that it doesn't use most of stuff, okay, fine. But it doesn't even soft power anymore. Like for me as a kernel developer, like being able to soft power off the bloody system is like one of the like more primary things to keep working, but yeah. So we have, as you see, like we have 667 to-do entries and then some, probably most in my head. So don't forget to like subscribe because we have so much more to do, right? With all the polishing half a day at a time. We even have more GL details. We even have to like more test suite checks that initRD works with 64 megs of memory. Here's even default, so maybe I do this for this release just because it's like a low-hanging graphic fruit. I only need to check how was it. This volume, did I document that already? Is it compatible? Apple, so this is some volume icon. Apple Finder or volume icon. I also misspelled this. Not sound volume. Disk icon. So this is somewhere. The question is, can we change that without? So there is some volume. Somewhere I use that. Maybe I even proof of concept set it on this external hard drive. I remember I tried this. I prepared that 4 years ago and then never really finished it. Should we try risk? Let's try risk plugging it in sometimes USB. So if this dies, then see you tomorrow. Because it's Steam Deck with just one USB port, and you know, I could have plugged it into my workstation now. Sometimes it doesn't even USB enumerate, like today. But that could be, this is some USB-C to USB-A converter, and maybe it only works if you plug it in the right orientation. Oh, look at that. I just reversed it because it's not USB. See. Let's mount the EFI. That is one, I guess. On one I added, was it not here? Apparently it's not here, huh? This was some system. Which other? Strange. By the way, oops. Ah, wait. Maybe I did this wrong. Oh, look at this. I did this wrong. This was a long. Yeah, so much to you only need one USB-C port, right? Let's plug this into my workstation. I mounted the wrong AV folder. Although we should commit the init.rd. So that is HID, and but with a Hyper-V keyboard, you need for keyboard to work on Hyper-V. It's like that. Fixed init.rd last software change not to break out early module matching. Remove map over matching HID Apple IR and was it one more? Inputlets instead, because I want my caps lock working early. Because I'm a perfectionist and want to test that my keyboard works and my system isn't dead. Mount dev SD should be that one, right? Mount dev SD. What do we have here? Partitions. That includes an Apple partition. And then maybe that one. Probably this one here. Here is some disk label. See? That is probably what we need. I knew I pre-tested that. Oops. Okay, so this is just some name. I believe the boot chooser probably shows that. What is with this disk label? And here's disk label. That's probably the icon. My name. What was it even? Data? What kind of data was it even? Was this some Apple specific icon format, or what do we have here? Content details. I'm pretty sure I added here. Wait, did I? There's also cursed macOS underscore thing. Apple. Disk label and system version. We basically, okay, let's first Google that. So probably it's not a specification, huh? Only change permission, boot caches, disk label helper, boot caches. I see here possibly corrupt new or accidentally delete system. That's a lot of amazing matches. Is this here something useful? So far so good with the train. I wonder what the bloody... So I mean, I think I could replace the whole icon. The other question is, I would just want, because it shows a disk, right? But I mean, if it's not possible for the boot chooser to overlay and blend that disk label icon thingy, then I would add, because I'm not stealing their disk icon, which maybe even changes. I get sued for copyright, so that would be that one here. Disk label in, just add this note so I don't need to research it the next time again. Do this here, so that is, so we will have such a file. Does it even, I think, I had it on the EFI partition, right? Yeah, that is on the, you need to have this on the, there's also some T2 PNG. Here's also some volume icon. Wait, here's some volume icon. Here's a macOS icon. That is probably the volume icon. That is what we need. Whatever the other thing is for, I don't know. Did I try both? Did one work? Shit, I don't remember. Okay, I will Google some more. If you have more information, leave in the comments below. Either one of those is responsible. One of those or both are responsible for, I believe, I'm pretty sure it showed in the boot chooser. Why don't you want to use one of those? Well, I want to use similar to here. I want to use our T2 logo, right? I don't want. Ideally this is PowerPC. I could, for PowerPC, I could also replace the whole icon here. That would work. I tested that, but I like, so this world thing is what Apple's 20-year-old. Also crazy, right? Like Apple's open firmware PowerPC stuff from 20 years ago was like more advanced than bloody EFI BIOSes are today. Absolutely mind-blowing. I could replace the whole icon, that would work, I know how to do that, but I didn't want to do that because I want, like if you have this on a CD, you get Apple's default CD icon here. And you only have this Earth, Planet Earth networked icon here because this is network booted, right? That's did I mention at the beginning that's a world first because probably nobody else ever has made that to work on network boot, right? So, and that is why I would want the same here. I don't want a bloody disk icon. I would want, but maybe it doesn't work. If the modern aging obsolete Intel Macs don't support it like the PowerPCs did, like with that overlay here on their default disk icon, then I would make the T2 icon the whole size. Like if they don't support this, then so be it. And then we just make the T2 logo. Like I don't need another person's disk logo then, because the problem is I don't know, like what should we use? Because we don't know. This is why I would want the boot firmware to blend that, because we don't know if someone burns it on an optical ISO. So should we, if we use an optical CD ISO, then the next person dumps the ISO on a USB thumb drive and then they still get a CD icon, right? So also I don't need other people's CD icons and stuff. Like if it doesn't work like that on EFI, then I will just use a large sized glowing T2 thing, because then it doesn't matter. Like it's T2 wherever it comes from. I will Google that. Maybe it's somewhat supported, maybe not. Dr. Schubert says the problem is that modern UEFI BIOSes are made to primarily only boot Windows. Yeah. And I mean, the graphic is only skin deep, right? It's like, it's graphic only splash screen plus whatever theme thing the vendor implemented for the BIOS options. Not particularly amazingly outstanding stuff. So I guess we went through all. It's like, yeah, we could do so much more. I mean, even the old VGA stuff was, did we do this on x86? I mean, maybe that's broken because they tried to use EXA acceleration on Yeah, it's just set, but it is what it is. It's again, the more you share, like, subscribe, the more. I mean, yeah, I mean they removed old-fashioned accelerated architecture XAA from X 10 years ago because it doesn't fit modern UI and stuff. It's like, yeah, thank you very much. That is why, I mean, it's removed. Like, I mean, I could add to the to-do, like re-add XOR server XAA for the really crazy ones. I'm not really, I mean, I wouldn't want to do it, right? Like, as much as I love vintage and hardware, I would rather write some really cool, like, readable and secure and high performance code from scratch than bringing XAA. Like, it is possible. The question is, how much old craft do we need to restore there? I mean, everything is technically possible, right? Just because Red Hat and SUSE delete, that doesn't mean it needs not to be in there. It's just, I mean, we make a deal. As soon as we have 1 million subscribers, we will do that. Otherwise, I do it because I also want to have fun, right? Like, and I have fun writing new amazing code and not like poking in the 70 like crap C code. But for 1 million subscribers, I will restore XAA. Is that a deal? You Americans want commas, right? Do you know that we Germans and many others use dots because we use a comma for actual real numbers? I write it in German, in whatever other EU country notation. Here, there is still quite some stuff we could possibly do. Is that here bin neutrals, right? This is a typo for some reason. Yeah, some small stuff. Hey, here's even Go. Maybe we should make this a priority to ship Go for PowerPC and also MIPS. Basically, I also have the impression all the 32 default things break for Go currently, so that's probably a thing. Maybe we one fix to fix them all. Comment, very familiar with which notation, the dot or comma, and which one do you use? Do I have? There are some. I mean, if we wanted, like, surely we need to constant 600. Like, we need to maintain 666 to-dos, right? Theoretically, I should clean, like, there are a couple of drivers, like, fix some. So I've seen some scrolling by, like, some Linux kernel want drivers to not warn about ops deprecated with info conversion. I mean, the kernel developers, that's also what I really hate, right? Like, the kernel developers, they just break and clobber also whatever. How can, I mean, sure, Red Hat and SUSE and stuff, they hide the boot messages. I tried so 15 years ago and found it sucked. Do I even have still, do I still have a site up? Maybe I should actually modernize our website to become richer. I have, yeah, this is basically, so I had some eScreens thing from basically soon 20 years ago, but I basically also find it sucks. I even, I found it's just overcomplicated stuff that is just breaking and annoying. And I rather have a professional, like T2 Linux is not for everyone, right? Like, if you're not a semi-professional or aspiring whatever, right? Hiding, in my opinion, hiding warnings and infos, like, because you, if there's some stuff going wrong, like other operating systems, you need to reboot with single user mode, verbose mode and whatnot, holding shift, or for macOS, or booting with -V or whatnot, or like, why not just, like, if something goes wrong, why should a professional educated user not see it? And even if a normal user, even if a normal user doesn't understand some warning of like, hey, this driver is old or some whatever file system breakage, I mean, either they can read some English or they can at least call the IT professional and say, okay, I have here file system corruption. Is it serious or not? Like, my system is not booting anymore. Yeah, and what's on your screen? On my screen is a plant. It's like, here, thank you very much. So I couldn't give, like, I gave up on hiding stuff. And it's like, sure, other distributions hide the boot messages, but like if I boot my stuff and then I see there, like for each core, like 8 times some core temperature thing should be converted, like register HWMon is deprecated, register convert with register with info. It's like due, it's like, Anyway, there are a couple of those, like Intel core temp or whatnot, and VR, I believe VR of Centaur. It's like, here's this kind of stuff. I would do that eventually because it just annoys me to boot with this stuff failing. Yeah, theoretically we have RTC on PS3. I looked a little bit into that. Wasn't like, maybe it looks like the RTC gamer service is a little bit, yeah. Need to check further. That's some, but I will do, like basically the, like, yeah, we do this, do we have this twice? I have this twice, huh? For some reason. Also I have many twice here. Why do I have many twice? Maybe I copy and pasted something wrong? But we're getting to it right. Like, it's increasingly, here's by the way, makes this 5 init hold. Okay, this I will probably do soon. This was brought to my attention. We probably, by the way, can we copy and paste 2 lines? Amazing, the future, isn't it? Let's do this sooner. And if you see anything that you want to have done sooner than later, then share, like, and subscribe and let us know in the comments or on Patreon below, or even join our Discord. That's basically it for today's release engineering. I guess it is kind of time to wipe all the builds, best without typo, and do the x86 build and fix what's broken, test that Mesa works. Actually, I probably should add in the to-do. Most important, test Mesa with libgl vendor and Amber works. This also needs one fix. We need to fix this Amber stuff to not clobber some shared files. Yeah, I don't know if Dr. Schubert wants to potentially pre-test this Mesa Amber change from yesterday and see if that works on their Itanium with libgl vendor neutral loader thing and Mesa Amber build against it. Otherwise, I need to do that sooner than later. Maybe that's a noob, so comment there, noob, but what's your plan on having others contribute to T2? People are contributing. Just look, we have more and more regular contributor. What's the plan? Like, don't delay, send patches today. We have here me, our data AI, Notech, Douglas Andreni. I mean, in the meantime, people send patches in daily. What stops you from sending patches in? Dr. Schubert, and Cool Luke, and here's Cool Luke, and Notech, and Matic, and I just recently grabbed that. They are over. How did I think I can I? Maybe not easily, or can I easily grab? Oh, this matches somehow because there's a time in there. Look at that. That's really many revisions now. 60,000 views later. How did I check that the other day? See, over the course of Rock Linux and T2, there are surely over 1,000 people who contributed to this increasingly amazing Linux distribution. With Rock Linux, it's difficult, like maybe even more than 1,000. Like 1,000 is a ballpark guesstimate. Maybe even, you see, Sebastian, Valentin, Steve, Alejandro, Mary, Pellegrini, LMJ, Chris, Jürgen, Georg Zawinski. It's like, there were 1,000 people before you. What stops you from sending a patch? I'm waiting. T2 and the open source community needs you for, yeah, Claire Wolf, obviously. And that's basically, so parsing that is difficult, but not impossible. So it would be probably best matching, because we would need to match the committer and the, but yeah. 68,159 revisions and some 1,000 contributors later, we are getting there to the increasingly most amazing release ever, now with PS3, RSX, initial enablement, SGI Octane, and lots of Xorg driver restored for, because upstream they are not working, usually crashing, segmentation faulting, otherwise producing a black image. The only distribution left to ship mostly working Xorg drivers and all architectures, all reasonable architectures, all reasonable 30 architectures, and we will eventually add some more. So we have some obscure embedded stuff left to add that once was in the Linux kernel. So we will, like, all mainstream and obsolete and vintage and retro supported and the craziest embedded stuff that even I've never seen, we will also add eventually. That's it for this video and live stream. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. An increasingly amazing Linux distribution in the making, and increasingly, it's like, yeah, if you, at the end of the day, coming full circle, last but not least, we need to release this stuff. Helps you nothing if you spend your lifetime fixing all the stuff. If you don't have amazing releases, then it basically doesn't exist, right? And people still load last month's partially broken stuff. What more do we have there? And that sounds, we use American way. Okay, and that is New Zealand, or greetings there. Stumbled over to bash. It's like, yeah, shell scripting is often broken in other locales, right? That is why you want to run your shell scripts with a C local. In new features, you mentioned creating better desktop. How do you know without, how do I know your final goals? Well, better desktop is, I'm not expecting you to write, like if you want to write a Windows server, I'm not stopping you, right? Major things, major, like basically the 666 lines of to-do is mostly fine, granular, lesser important stuff that is basically less efficient for me to file issues. Major things where, if you're new to the stuff, we even pay you to implement some things, right? We pay you, probably the only Linux distribution, not only the best and most architecture supporting, and the only left to work with most Xorg drivers, but we even pay you to implement issues because we have feature bounties, right? Starting from just 10, I know, but ending at 140 or so, plus minus, give or take. You see here 60 freaking euros, and also like not some American greenback things, but hard European currency. So, and it's like, even for 60, sure, it sounds like a lot. Sure, I'm not yet as rich as Donald, sorry, he's bankrupt. I'm not yet as rich as Elon Musk, but we're getting there. The more you share, subscribe, and promote the videos, so the more we get there. So sure, some of the stuff is is a bit of work, but not impossible, right? Like, this is basically, you don't even need to be able to program. You just can earn 60 freaking bucks. if you're a student or whatnot, or otherwise motivated, or just because you want. Sure, you're not yet getting rich with it, but the more you Shellac subscribe, the richer we all get. And so this is just adding packages, right? Sure, this might be 10 or 20. And hey, we can even talk, like if you say adding, let's say there are 60, I don't know, or 40, whatever. So LibreOffice, case in point, LibreOffice has some optional dependencies that we are not yet shipping in T2. Let's basically just package some packages. And sure, if you tell me, you can always contact me, say, hey, that's a lot of work for 60. Can I get 60 for half? And I probably will agree, right? So you might even get 2 times 60 if you package all of them. It's just a placeholder of like, hey, we are missing there. So you can go there. And so these are 117 open, like more major stuff, which sure, we don't pay for all because a lot of stuff is like due. I mean, some are not even open by me. You know, T2 getting so popular that people even want stuff. But hey, I mean, maybe this is even solved. I need to check. So also, by the way, before you work on stuff, always check with me that it's not like, if it's working, or like check that it's really still like this actually might be, need to check if that's solved. But yeah, for quite some stuff, like package some, this is just package one old GCJ stuff, get it working again, and cache in 40. It's that simple. So here are issues. Some you can work on fun. Here, for example, if you want to do, so I'm not paying for this state-of-the-art fun, but if you want to do some state-of-the-art fun, kexec tools purgatory is broken on x86 when you build it with Cling. So that's an issue. I'm not paying for that because the Linux Foundation can't fix it with their 200 million, so I can't pay for all the Linux Foundation stuff. But that would be nice. I mean, maybe it's a 10-minute job. I don't know. Like if you're good in x86 stuff, maybe it should be fixed. Like someone should fix it. What is that? Configuration testing. What is that even? Transferring bunch of late night your time, early morning your time. Pause from Discord here. Okay. I guess. I mean that's nice. Actually, where's Paul Red? Is Paul Red still here? He sometimes tuned in, right? Yeah, it's set to lose. I mean, he was motivated. I mean, either he's just busy or, I mean, I understand, but hey, I put a lot of work. I probably put 40 hours into testing all the Xorg drivers, right? So it's not like I'm not doing nothing, but that Xorg is also effing broken. So some of the stuff, like this is also not really an issue. This is just like, yeah, this is a warning, not so that X or like loses the connection. This is not because of that. That is just because the freaking Xorg driver didn't work, right? The driver crashed, didn't find the driver, driver was broken, incompatible, whatnot, right? So that's of course the sad thing, right? Like you put so much work in there and then upstream has broken Xorg so much, so but like, hey, I put my money where my mouth is and I spent probably over 40 hours the last weeks, easily. I mean, you have seen me live on doing all this shit. Testing, like I took all, I didn't take some, I took all, as you've seen here, all the per media, 3D Labs per media, even 3DFX Benji, Matrox, MGA. I fixed most of them, right? Sure, there is some, hey, even the Matrox Millennium comes up, it has some graphic corruption. You know what, maybe I actually should fix this sooner because I even have 3 of those cards and stuff. You know what, let's probably, I probably should. I mean, maybe it just doesn't do XOR, like it probably doesn't do enough to do XOR, and maybe they run, I have the suspicion they simply run the later generation XOR code for the more modern acceleration on this. So probably they do just invalid, probably the right fix probably for that is disable acceleration because they removed XOR and the code that's left there can't drive, can't accelerate anything meaningful on Millennium. And that's also why I'd rather, like, sure, we have this quite fixed now. I hope the Xorg people upstream stop breaking stuff because it's broken enough already, except on T2. And that's the thing, right? The more you Shellac subscribe, the more can polish it. Is it perfect? No. For example, the XGI Volari or other SIS stuff is not yet perfect and doesn't set the right mode and stuff, but sure, I could spend another hour or two to fix mode setting to set the right mode, but hey, at least it doesn't crash anymore. It's not black anymore. At least the mouse cursor works, and it's some mode. It's not the perfect mode, but hey, there is only so many 40 hours I can put in here for free for you to subscribe. So your views and goals and looks seem to align with mine. That is happy to hear that. So we'll see how it can contribute. And yet you can just you can just drop a note on Discord and tell us what's broken. A lot of stuff is easy to fix, right? So Discord is also, if you're not yet on Discord, we have a permanent link here. That is this Patreon link here to Discord for everyone who needs a wink to Patreon and stuff. Yeah, I'm aware that stuff needs to work, because if it doesn't, that's also why, if you're wondering why did I do for like 2 weeks here excessively testing and network booting, like set up more network booting and fixing even more stuff, because I'm aware that if like at least 90% of the stuff, I mean, I can't test everything, right? If you have an old vintage and retro cards that you not use, I have enough Matrox cards, right? Except maybe a Pahelia 128 or what it was called. But I could still need I should update the list. I have some list on my old blog. I probably should update that. Also, this doesn't render properly anymore due to embedded shit. I still need the deck alpha. Hey, I need to delete this. I have an Titanium. Thanks for that. Highly appreciated. Yeah, right. I still want eventually, but I don't want to spend like $500 or whatnot, right? If you have a spare Octane V Pro card, I only need an early one. I think my Octane might not run a later one. So like if you have a spare V6 or whatnot, or maybe V8 or what else, what works in Expo 1.3 or whatnot. Anyway, yeah, this is just, some crazy stuff. I probably should, other exceptional vintage. Okay, I should probably update the list. Hey, there's even Patreon. Does it even still work? I should specify the cards. I kinda have a list. What else did I... I mean, a more modern Voodoo would always be nice. What was it? There was some... All right, I mean, some XGI. I only have this bloody server thing. I mean, yeah, I have many. There's this Neo Magic. I never had a Neo Magic, but I believe they only put them on laptops, so that would make a full laptop. I basically need to go through the bloody list and see what... I mean, I have most. And that's the crazy stuff, right? The Xorg Foundation burned, 1 year they burned $66,000 on continuous integration cloud costs, but can't even, like, they burned $66,000 freaking dollars, not making this shit up, you can Google it, on continuous integration cloud stuff, but at the end all the code was broken, like it built, but it didn't work on 90%, like on most of the, like, Matrox broken, SGI broken, ATI Mach broken, and many of the others also broken enough to usually not start, have a black screen or crash. Like, so that is what wasting $66,000 on cloud server provider stuff gives you when it takes only one person to cycle those cards once in a year or some every quarter or whatnot. I don't know. That's totally misguided waste of money, right? When management runs stuff without, I mean, the irony is it's run by veteran ex-coders, but they kind of run it like misguided management stuff. I don't know. So yeah, you don't need to be kernel dev, right? You can just improve installer stuff, scripting stuff. You can just package, like you don't need to be kernel developer to package some missing thing. Like you surely, if you try to use T2, you surely find a package that's missing. Like if you package your favorite package, window manager or development tool or whatnot, right? Model citizen rights. So packaging, we basically even have here a new fresh, like it's not like we write no documentation, right? Like already over half a year ago, we wrote you some new getting started with the fresh T2 installation. That probably, I guess it covers it, right? But if not, patch is welcome. We also have a handbook. It's a little bit outdated, but still mostly applies. Plus, of course, a gazillions of YouTube videos. Maybe I should make a dedicated YouTube video just installing, because someone asked how to install some window manager. Like maybe I should just make. The irony is maybe some clickbait window manager, like how to install another window manager on Linux, gets more 100,000 views than serious development stuff. But I see what Linux could be, but after all those years, it just can't. Yeah, because that is said, right? That's why I say don't do 2,000 Linux distributions. Like just like if everything else sucks, just use T2. But now, I mean, if we just had 4, but I mean the problem is everyone like just Puppy Linux, right? Or all the other, like even Puppy Linux used at times T2. They either clobbered package. I mean, Puppy Linux is, in my opinion, realistically not even particularly good. Like it's also like a random, like each year they release something, it's some other random crap that, I mean, plus all the other Linux distributions, right? Like realistically, like 10 would be enough with number 10 or number 1, obviously T2, but hey, we exist since 1998 or 1996 or so. Yeah, we have too many. And certainly like also every year breaking KDE and every year rewriting GNOME and every 5 years breaking our like that, it certainly doesn't help. Like as I said, all these things, the Matrox cards, when I had this Matrox cards new, they run perfect. And just because this open source, it's a totally misguided development concept of constant cleanup and optimization. At the end, what is optimization? They optimized all the old acceleration architecture away for 2D acceleration, for lines, for Bresenham lines, and solid fills and stuff. Like yeah, they optimized it. They optimized the optimization away, and now the old stuff either doesn't work, and if it works, it's dog slow because all the hardware acceleration is away. And it was all working. And you can say, sure, the code sucked, but all the old code sucks. You just didn't have to touch it, right? You could just fix security issues and that's it. I would also argue most drivers didn't even have, like, sure, most drivers as seen today on Twitch, the code truly sucked, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't working. And I would argue, despite the code sucked, it probably didn't really have the most security vulnerabilities because it was mostly just programming the hardware to do line draw in the VRAM, and the hardware can't draw out of the VRAM. So yeah, and just deleting everything just to delete everything is certainly also not, like, sure, if you delete everything, we don't have bugs left, right? So where is my last, these are the clips, where is the freaking, here, probably of lack of XOC driver. Like if you want to continue watching stuff from today, copy link, that would be that one. If you want to join on Twitch or want to watch more XOC stuff, yeah, anyway, I'm sounding like a broken record. I basically said everything. It's recurringly depressive how much we could have, how much the big names have broken. And your pet peeve is also the Mozilla Foundation. Totally agree. Like if we would have so much money as the Mozilla Foundation or the Linux Foundation, we would have a Linux distribution as amazing as macOS, and then some. And that's what we are here for, to share, like, subscribe, and get some patronage into our tip jar and some advertising revenue, to increasingly polish the last corners and make usability even better. And yes, I understand this usability, it was meant as a developer expert system to build systems, that is T2, and it's very good at it, I would argue. Scalable, easy, scriptable, and reproducible and stuff. Sure, it could be even better, but hey, we are a hobby project, kind of, sort of, mostly, anyway. And you could use that, like, we could, of course, polish that to build images and updates similar to macOS and make stuff work. Like, if we just would have $60,000 a year funding like the XORG Foundation, or let alone the millions of the Mozilla Foundation. Like with that many millions, you could not only build an actual amazing browser, you could even build an actually amazing Linux distribution for that. But yeah, if Red Hat and SUSE pays their employees to mostly delete code and break code, then it's like, yeah, that's, a decade later, everything is broken. Congratulations. Community can't decide what it wants and just produces 1 million half-baked. Yeah, exactly. That there are so many distros. Currently live in a world where we don't like a distro, we create another. Yeah, you know what? You can say a lot of me, but at least I sticked with one Linux distribution for 25 years, and never, like, I joined one that is Rock Linux and continue to maintain it. I did the desktop Rock Linux, I became stable release maintainer, and I'm stable release maintainer of what is T2, one, in retrospect we should have named T2 T1, right? Because surely that is the last technical one solution you will ever need. You can tell a lot, but I didn't fork shit. I didn't start random shit, and I kept fixing, like, even when I didn't use it the most for a decade, from 2008-ish to 2018-ish, because I used my macOS as a desktop, earning money. I still kept maintaining it in my free time for the core technology to use it on the servers and virtualization and actual embedded projects. And like, hey, I maintained one thing, and I even not starting yet another Windows server. I hated each Windows server. Remember when Canonical did their own, was it Mir? Because we need so many Windows servers and compositing servers and stuff. That was, and their own GNOME shell or GTK shell, whatever that was called in Canonical. I never used Ubuntu, so I wouldn't know, except that everyone complained to me, have you seen the latest Canonical shit? Like, no, I've not seen the latest Canonical shit, because I use the one last Linux distribution I ever joined, maintain, and started. Like, I don't know what shit Canonical is doing yet again, because I could give less than 2 cents of a shit, because I have better shit than their shit. So anyways, you can take a lot, you can say a lot, but at least I don't break shit. I fix more stuff than I break, and I maintain that what I maintain for 25 years. And maybe that is not, maybe Xorg has no developer that is so long. Okay, maybe Alan Hurricane or Coppersmith or whatnot. I mean, even Keith Packard left Xorg, and I think Keith Packard, whatever. The thing is, I read this name so often, but I nearly never need to pronounce him, right? It is always, if you're wondering, why do I not remember this name better? Because, like, hey, it's not my neighbor, and I only read this name. I always feel like reading a name and then, like, pronouncing it the first time, especially if English is not your first language. It's like, dude, how do they even want to pronounce it? Anyway, gosh, because Subversion was invented before Git, and I had it worked for me long before Git was invented and was production ready, and it basically is the least important thing of, like, due, and it is still more efficient for me. That is why I'm using it. Oh my god. Or how the Ukrainians say Gospodи. Godspeed. As if we have nothing else to care about. Who cares about the bloody... As long as it's not CVS, why do you care? As long as it's better than the broken garbage that is CVS. Anyway, we are mostly there. Yeah, I will make such videos. I realize, I mean, you never know what video goes more viral, right? I mean, that today is too long because I don't stop talking, which is obviously 2 minutes, 2 hours, which is obviously too long. What you complain with most of this stuff, upstream breaks. Yeah, upstream is pretty broken, especially Xorg. Like, in Xorg is very little left that works. So, I need to go. And thanks for everyone tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Don't forget to take a look at our bounties, open issues, or just send a patch or try it out. And I hope to, yeah, and don't forget to fix some stuff and, like, Don't forget to fix a bug a day to keep the bitrot away, the bad apples away, and see you soon for all the next fun stuff to come. Happy to hear that I give you the same vibes as John Carmack. So I heard everything on this channel already, from I look like Snowden to Mr. Robot. It's called Mr. Robot, right? Mr. Robot. No, thanks for that. That certainly is a compliment. Was it Mr. Robot? It was Mr. Robot, wasn't it? Apparently. So yeah, I'm a mix of Snowden, Mr. Robot, and John Carmack. That is certainly made my day too, and I hope to see you soon for all the next fun fixes and releases to come.